allow me to
How
look.
many?
Till we go on? 1 minute,
That's good.
or less than a minute now.
Yeah.
People get ready. There's a train coming. You don't need no ticket. You can just step on board. All you need is faith to hear the diesel humming. You don't need no ticket. You just thank the Lord. Oh,
How about a round of applause for Linda Jones, ladies and gentlemen, on Papa? Get ready. There's a train coming. Don't need.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us here on the People Get Ready podcast. And I'd like to introduce none other than the man of the hour. But before I do, I want to share some information with you. So we are here for the People Get Ready podcast. And I want to say Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. from the top 50 quotes. Here's a couple of quotes who are some of his favorites. There comes a time when one must take a position that is neither safe nor public nor popular, but he must take it because conscience tells him it's right. It may well be that we will have to repent in the generation, not merely for the virulent words and the violent actions of the bad people, but for the appalling silence and indifference of the good people who sit around and say, wait on time. These quotes are relevant today, and today is Wednesday, January 18th, 2023. Quotes from Congressman William Bill Clay from St. Louis, Missouri. No permanent friends, no permanent enemies, no permanent interests. I also want to introduce you to Bibb's Business Opportunity Mall. Grand opening, SNAP delivered, was added. ERC Employee Retention Tax Credit Program, which is still going on. The ERC refund $1.9 trillion that's available for businesses to partake in. A business can receive up to $26,000 per W-2 employee that they had during 2020 and 2021. U.S. businesses and nonprofits may qualify for a federal tax refund credit. And guess what? There's a new opening in the Bibb's Business Opportunity Mall. Brand new health and wellness products, My Daily Choice, which is the Amazon of MLM, health and wellness. There has Fuel Factor X, which you'll hear more about that later in the podcast, cryptocurrency, and prepaid travel. For more information, you can go to Mr. Bibb's website, which is www.mydaillychoice.com/CEBIBBSR, or you can contact Mr. Bibb at 216-659-4619. And our normal person who does these announcements is Reverend Fair, but unfortunately he's out of town, and I did not do justice on Reverend Fair's introduction, but I want to turn it over to the man of the hour, the host of the podcast, People Get Ready, Charles E. Bibb Sr.
Thank you, Miss Candace Jones. Good job, good job. Reverend Ben Fair have to be careful. You got him on one side, And Miss Sharon Penman, are you in the house? Miss Sharon Penman, are you in the house?
Yes, Mr. Bibb, I'm here. Hi, listening audience,
Well,
Mr. Bibb, and everyone.
very good. Since you're in the house, Miss Tammy Kennedy, you haven't heard her sing. People get ready. We really want the people to get ready. So let's hear Miss Sharon Penman.
Now, I have to say, I didn't know I was going to be following Al Green, but here goes. But here we are anyway. People get ready. There's a train a-coming. You don't need no baggage. You just get on board. All you need is faith to hear the diesels humming. You don't need no ticket. You just thank the Lord.
All right. Thank you.
Let's
Did
get
you
on
hear
that
that,
train.
Miss Candace? Okay, very good. Very
Thank
good.
you, Mr. Bibb. Thank you.
And we'll be hearing from you later on in the podcast. Share some other news. One of them will be the great affair with that severance for Martin Luther King.
Yes, sir.
And we were waiting Mr. James Jerome Bell. But since Mr. James Jerome Bell is not in the house with us, I can tell you the latest with Congressperson George Santos, the man who has been experienced on everything you could be experienced in, and at the same time not being experienced in anything when you check his record. Today we found out that he had a GoFundMe account for a dog that needed a special operation, and he collected a lot of money. The dog died, and he kept collecting the money. I would suggest that you all go to your not your podcast, but your websites and then YouTube and Gmail and all that kind of good stuff, and go over the internet, and you'll find out the latest by the New York Congressman George Santos, and they'll tell you the different things that he said on his resume that are not true. So watch him. Republicans are calling for him to resign from Congress, and he's a Republican. But I don't think he's gonna be going anywhere soon, because the Republicans only have a 2 or 3 vote lead in the House of Representatives, and they're not giving up anybody right now. So we'll stay tuned. We'll have another report for you next week on the New York Congressman from New York City, New York, George Santos, just got sworn last week. Thank you. And Ms. Candace,
Yes.
you said Bishop Tony Minor?
He is unable to join us at this time. So I want to share some information that he was going to talk about this evening regarding an event taking place this Friday, January 20th. It's called The Gathering. It's the evening of democracy, community, and justice. Friday, January 20th, 2023 at 6:30 p.m. The location will be Mount Sinai Friendship United Church, 7510 Woodland Avenue, Cleveland, 44104. We would like to welcome you to a community coalition dinner for congressional organizers. So if anyone is able to, it's open to the public, anyone can go. If you're able to participate in that, please join in for this community event. It'll be a great turnout. There are some resources from the People Get Ready podcast crew that will be attending as well.
Right. And I had an opportunity to talk to Bishop Tony Minor this past Monday at Mount Sinai Fellowship Church. He was there also for the United Pastors in Mission Martin Luther King celebration and organization and mobilization. And I'm looking forward to being at the dinner. because he's going to contribute a lot to the community on what we should be doing as a unit together, because things are going slow in Ohio. So, Reverend Bishop Tony Minor, look forward to seeing you Friday at 7510 Woodland Avenue for a grand afternoon. And we won't have a mix-up next week because we're expecting him to come and tell us their next step. Thank you. And Sharon Penman,
Yes, I'm here, Mr. Bibb.
would you share with us what happened at Severance this past Sunday?
Yes, Mr. Bibb, this past Sunday was the 43rd annual Martin Luther King Jr. celebration concert at Severance Hall. That concert kicked off at 7 p.m. It was a beautiful affair. I was honored to be singing in the chorus for that the celebration chorus. It was my second year singing in that chorus. I sang the first time in 2019, and then along came COVID, and I had the second time chance to get back with them this past Sunday. The choir was honored, as well as the esteemed choir director, Dr. William Henry Caldwell, along with Mrs. LaJean Ray. We were honored with the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. 2023 Community Service Award. And those awards were given out to us at the beginning of the concert. The concert was beautiful. There was oh my goodness, the soloist that we had this year was a beautiful young man by the name of, I'm trying to pull up his name now, by the name of Solomon Howard. He, oh my goodness, is a bass singer, and he was the narrator for partial of the show. This young man was, oh my goodness, just awesome. His voice was so soothing and melting. It was just, oh my goodness, it was just beautiful. The narrator for the entire show was none other than Peter Lawson Jones. There was a full house, from what I understand. It was a sold out affair, and it was just fabulous, Mr. Bibb.
Very good. The young man had to be real good. Before you talked to me, someone told me, not someone, Reverend Ben Fair, because he was there representing the podcast.
Yes.
Because we had double booking that day and we couldn't be there. And we have to hear from that young man again.
Oh, yes.
And if you will deal with the people who we were dealing with at Severance and see how we get in touch with them, because I have some things in mind for Black History Month.
All right.
And another piece I want you to look into, I'm told they have a video of the entire affair for Martin Luther King. Check on that and see if that's going to be available.
Yes, sir.
Because we got something where we can do that so the community will get a second chance of seeing what happened at Severance. For those who didn't make it, they'll get another chance to see it by way of video. So would you check that, please?
I surely will, Mr. Bibb, and I'll let you know as soon as I know something.
All right. And right behind Ms. Sharon Penman talking about Severance, we have an awesome event coming up this year in June. Ms. Sharon Penman and Ms. Tammy Kennedy, you could just bring us as much information as you have about that Juneteenth extravaganza weekend. The floor is all yours.
Yes, Tammy, you want to open up on how we're kicking off that event and that weekend?
Well, I can. Juneteenth is the weekend. Well, actually, that's June 19th. So, Mr. Bibb and the team here are planning a whole weekend of events. And the events will start, it looks like on the 17th, Let me pull up this information. Okay, on June 17th, and I'm excited about this, a Miss Juneteenth pageant. And then that's on a Friday.
Yes, and kicking up prior to the Miss Juneteenth pageant, we will be kicking it off at the East Cleveland Library that afternoon at 1:30 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. And we will have refreshments and activities and all types of family-oriented events for everyone to come on out to kick off that extravaganza weekend for Juneteenth at the East Cleveland Public Library at 1:30 p.m. And as Tammy said, the Miss Juneteenth pageant that will be hosted later that evening. And following that, Tammy?
Okay, on the next day is Juneteenth Father's Day dinner. So that should be very interesting. Do we have a place, Sharon, or because I don't see it on here?
The times and schedules and locations will be announced further, but just to get the people ready to know what we're going to be doing in June for our holiday, so that they'll be prepared and ready for when ready to start selling tickets and getting people to come out to these events. They'll be prepared and they'll already know and have it in their mind that this is coming up. So as Tammy said, on that June 18th Father's Day dinner, part of that extravaganza weekend, and closing it out on June 19th, on Juneteenth Day, the first annual Juneteenth parade. We'll be kicking that day off along with Juneteenth Day festivities. And as I said, times and schedules will be announced. Anything else, Tammy?
No, it looks like that. Well, that's a lot. That's a lot going to be going on for Juneteenth, Mr. Bibb.
Yes, Miss Kennedy, that's why it's an extravaganza.
That's right. And that is needed.
3 days.
That's right.
Yes, sir.
That's beautiful.
Greater Cleveland. The day is too big for one day.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Saturday, Sunday, and Monday.
Can't get better than
Monday is
that.
the national holiday.
Yes.
Say that again, Mr. Kennedy.
That's a national holiday. Everybody should be off that
That's
day
right.
or with pay.
That's right. That's right.
Right. It's a national holiday.
And you brought it to East Cleveland before it was a national holiday.
Yes,
and
I
we
did.
appreciate that.
Yeah.
And so when it became a national holiday, we had to take it from 1 day to 3 days, and we tried to touch all segments of the community with the 3 days. And we fathers just love that one on Sunday, because Father's Day come a little behind Mother's Day in terms of people coming out. So that's going to be Juneteenth Father's Day dinner.
I think that's
going to be
Father's Day
something else. And we'll have some surprise guests for you on Father's Day as soon as we tie down the location, which we'll have that tied down by the time we get back next week. All right, very, very good. And Miss Sharon Pittman,
Yes, sir.
we're looking for some more talent to add to the pageant, not in the pageant, but during the pageant,
Yes.
and also some talent during the Father's Day dinner. We want to give fathers a nice little treat.
Oh, most definitely.
We haven't heard much about fathers getting much on Father's Day citywide.
And we want to let our Cleveland fathers know that they're special, and we honor them and respect them and love them for all that they do for their children.
Right.
Oh, that is just great. That's great. And Mr. James Jerome Bibb, if you're listening, we want you to be well for that day, because we're going to be calling on you, because you're one of the fathers that'll be there. And that's going to be super great.
Yeah.
Thank you. And you're moving right along, and we'll have more information for you next week.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you, Ms. Tammy Kennedy and Ms. Sharon Penman.
You're welcome, Mr. Bill.
All right. Ms. Candace Jones,
Yes.
Dr. Gwen Jarvis will be away from us for the next 2 weeks. She's out of the country. She's not out of town, Ms. Kennedy. She's out of the country.
All right. Good for
And
her.
so, enjoy
I
it.
ain't mad at her.
She did tell me it's 78 degrees where she is.
Oh,
That's good. But one of the things she wanted to report on was Reverend Al Sharpton's event that he had with the New York African American elected officials, New York State wide elected officials, and New York City elected officials. In New York State, the lieutenant governor is an African American. The Speaker of the Senate for New York State, African American. And you know, Eric Adams is the mayor of New York City, and they have a prosecutor in New York City also. So the civil rights leaders met with them and some other ones that I'm not naming at this time, and she was going to report on that meeting. Since she did a lot of work on it, we will wait until she gets back to give the full report on Ms. Jarvis's event. And while I'm talking about Reverend Al Sharpton, this past Martin Luther King, he had an awesome event, National Action Network. He really had two events. One was in Washington, D.C., his annual breakfast for Martin Luther King. Then he went to New York and has his annual event there, and the President of the United States was the keynote speaker. President Joe Biden, the keynote speaker, and they honored the late Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi. And we're missing her already. And they didn't even get the committees in place yet in the House, and we're missing her. Wish she was back. So Al Sharpton, who was here recently in Cleveland with us, is doing an awesome job, and we're going to look forward to patching him into one of our shows soon. So that's the update on Reverend Al Sharpton and the Martin Luther King Day celebration, breakfast, and his meeting with the African American leadership in the state of New York and the city of New York simultaneously. And we'll be getting the results of that because the main newspapers did not carry it, but we want to hear the story because we want that to spread, working together for the benefit of all. Thank you. Ms. Candace,
Yes.
I understand you have something coming up this weekend. You're going out of town. Would you share that with us a little bit?
Yes, I will be leaving Friday morning, headed to Scottsdale, Arizona. And in Scottsdale, Arizona will take place the Disruption University Part 3 for SNAP Delivered. We'll be meeting on Friday. We'll have a Friday evening meeting, an opportunity presentation, and then Saturday and Sunday will be training opportunities. I come back Sunday evening. But it's a great opportunity. I did hear that there are going to be some new verticals that are going to be announced at this convention with SNAP Delivered. So we have SNAP Partners is the overall for everything. We have SNAP Delivered, which is food delivery service. We have SNAP Financial, which is the ERC program. We have SNAP Entertainment, which is the streaming with VidGo. And from what I hear, there is going to be a new vertical that's going to be announced at the convention that I go to in Scottsdale, Arizona. For those of you that can't make it to Scottsdale, Arizona this weekend, there is streaming opportunities available that you can stream it because it will be streamed live from the event. So I'm looking forward to going and getting all the information that I can and bring back to those that may not be able to make it and share it with everyone else that I can. So that's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
All right, Miss Candace Jones. That is awesome. Going to a national conference. And a week or two ago, you were in Dayton, Ohio. Is that true?
Yes, I was in
For a
Dayton
conference.
January 5th, 6th, and 7th. And that was a Midwest regional conference for SNAP Delivered. and the CEO of the company, Paul Michael, came there to greet everybody and share some information with everybody as well. So it was, he was sitting down talking with everybody just like you and I are talking, like we're sitting in comfortable chairs and talking. So he's very friendly and personable person. So I look forward to engaging more with SNAP Delivered and SNAP partners. SNAP's goal is to help people as much as they can with the different verticals that are available. So you can join SNAP for free, and then you have access to all of these different verticals to be able to help you make money.
Very good. Now, if he came to Dayton, and Dayton is in the southern part of Ohio, when you go out to Arizona this time, tell them we would welcome them here in the northern part of Ohio. And soon as the weather break a little bit, because we can't match Arizona for the weather, Miss Kennedy.
No, I don't think so.
We can't match
Not
Florida either, which is where he's from.
Yeah, right.
But he came to Dayton, even though it was cold,
Right.
colder than he's used to. He came to Dayton, and he was very glad that he did come, and he said that he is more than willing to come and help others. So I'm going to put in his ear when I see him this weekend about coming to Cleveland.
Very
And
good.
setting up some dates for that.
Very good, because I have some people, due to this high inflation and all of this, could not make it to Arizona.
Right.
But they want to be involved, and they want to see the CEO up close and the other members of the organization.
Right.
And I got friends who asked me, do you think they'll ever make it this way? So you can take information from our podcast. We'll do everything to help promote it. If he coming, we'll lean over backwards.
Not if he's coming, when he's coming.
When he's coming, yeah. I like that attitude. That's very good, very good. All right. Good report. We got one more report, and then we're going to have a big report coming in from Detroit, Michigan. I want to talk to you about United Pastors in Mission. Its president is Reverend Dr. Larry Macon Sr. He lived up to what he said he would do. He brought most of the groups, different ministerial groups, to Mount Sinai Fellowship Church this past Monday. One common agenda, to get more people involved in the community and trying to make the community a better place to live and a better place to work and a better place to do politics. A better place to do politics. We had some high-ranking politicians there. We had Marty Sweeney, used to be the president of the Cleveland City Council. He's getting active again. Had the Secretary of State of Ohio, LaRose. He was there explaining this new law about voting. And next week we're going to have that on our agenda, and I'm glad that I thought about that so that we can get in touch with them, because there's a lot of things in this new law. Voter registration. You have to have IDs and new stuff we didn't have before. So everybody has to be aware of that, because that turned a lot of people off.
Yeah, photo ID.
Photo
Yeah,
ID.
Photo ID.
And we have to be real careful, and we have to stay up to date on all voting laws, because we want to vote. We want to increase voting this year, because next year is a big year. Big year. Democrats intend to take the House back and increase the lead in the Senate. But it starts this year in 2023, and in order to increase it, you got to know the rules. So we will be looking, and we're going to thank Reverend Larry Macon Sr. for holding the event, And I did talk to him about the podcast. He will be coming on, telling us what United Pastors and Mission will be doing with their community outreach. And I think that's just awesome. So go right ahead. And we're getting ready to go to Detroit, Michigan. Is Mr. James Panicus in the house?
I'm
Is
right here.
Mr. James
I'm right here.
Mr. Panicus?
Yes.
I'm gonna have to give you a little extra time today because I've been getting good news all week about my daily choice, the health and wellness product, and the health and wellness, the Amazon of health and wellness. But Miss Candace Jones, I've been hearing an awful lot about that prepaid travel. So after you do your regular Mr. James Panicus of Detroit, Michigan, the Midwest leader, I want to hear a little more about the prepaid travel and also about the gasoline factor. Thank you. I present to some and introduce to others Detroit leader, now expanding in the Midwest, leader of the Dream Team. Mr. James Panicus from Detroit, Michigan is all yours. Go right ahead.
Well, I thank you. I thank you, Mr. Bibb. I appreciate it. And you were actually talking about one of my fraternity brothers earlier. Reverend Al Sharpton is a member of my fraternity, Phi Beta Sigma. Those civil rights leaders. Involved in. We are all involved. Trying to make a difference in the community. Now, when it comes to opportunities, Candace was talking about SNAP delivery, great opportunity. There are a lot of opportunities out here, but my daily choice is another opportunity that people can utilize to change their lives, both physically and financially. My daily choice is another opportunity where it's free to get involved. There's no cost, there's no entry fee, there's no membership sign up to get involved. What they are is they call themselves the Amazon of the multi-level marketing industry because they're the house of brands. They have a lot of brands, but the one that Mr. Bibb was talking about is the prepaid travel, which is really blowing up right now. This is a concept I've never seen before, where people can go in and they could literally get prepaid travel packages. For example, they have a travel package that costs $199 and you get $1,500 of travel credit. Now imagine that you pay $199, but you get $1,500 in travel credits that, get this, Mr. Bibb, they never expire. And you could use them for hotels, flights, travel packages, restaurants. If you book through the website, all those things. I mean, they have various travel packages. They have another travel package where you could spend $599 and get $7,000 worth of travel credits. In fact, one of my business partners, he spent $799 and got $10,000 worth of travel credits, and he's taking his wife to Puerto Rico for a second honeymoon, all expense paid in a all-inclusive resort, and he said he will still have literally 6,000 credits left over. That's incredible. And he only spent $799 and still have 6,000 credits to use for the rest of his life. I mean, this prepaid travel is incredible. I'm telling you, this is one of the most revolutionary things that people can get involved now and don't have to worry about travel, get it at a discount and travel at their leisure. But here's the other thing. Mr. Bibb, you already know, you told me this, in Ohio, gas prices are going.
You're absolutely right. They're going back up.
Yeah, we got to figure out a way to get more bang for our buck. Well, we got a product called FFX. It's a fuel additive that gets you more life out of your engine, more octane, more octane boost, but it also gets more miles to the gallon. In fact, I use it in my Mercedes-Benz truck. I also use it in my Grand Cherokee L. In fact, I shouldn't even say this. This morning when I was taking my son to school, I had put it in my Mercedes, and there was a Cherokee Trackhawk. I don't know if anybody knows what a Trackhawk is. That's this Grand Cherokee that they got really souped up. And he was trying to pass me on the street and get in front of me in the lane. Well, I had the fuel additive in there and I stomped on it. My car lurched forward and beat the Trackhawk and he couldn't pass me. Now, I shouldn't tell y'all that, but you already know how people in Ohio drive. So I got more octane boost out of my Mercedes than I did, and I beat a Trackhawk down the street and I didn't let him over. So I'm just letting you know that this is allowed, but get this, just by me filling up, my Mercedes-Benz usually tells me I get 392 miles per gallon, for a tank of gas. When I put the fuel additive in there, it told me that instantly when I filled up at Sam's Club, as soon as I dropped it in there, it went up to 452 miles. So I'm going to tell you, I think, Candace, do we have a little film that we can show?
Yes, we have a little short video that we're going to show about the fuel factor.
Yeah, if you can show that, then I can let people know how powerful this is.
Okay, here it comes.
All right.
Have you been spending too much money at the pump lately? Gas prices are hitting record highs almost daily, causing financial pain at the pump for millions. What if we told you there was a way to save money on gas, drive farther, and protect the planet with one simple solution? Introducing Fuel Factor X. For more than 25 years, FFX has been used in large mining companies to improve fuel economy, prolong engine life, enhance performance, and reduce harmful emissions. For the first time ever, it's available to the general public in single-use foil packets and 4-ounce bottles exclusively through My Daily Choice. FFX is a highly concentrated and advanced fuel treatment. Other products may have one or two of our components, but none have all of them. Backed by an award-winning chemistry and thousands of tests, FFX can be used in any combustible engine, gas or diesel, trucks, cars, boats, ATVs, RVs, heavy equipment, and more. Getting the most of FFX is easy. Use 1/4 ounce to treat up to 20 gallons. Double dose your first 2 to 3 treatments. Use FFX every time you fill up. Enjoy the benefits. Good for your bank account, good for your engine, and good for the planet.
So
I think it's a very good video of Fuel Factor X.
well, I'll tell you this, everything is there. And the gentleman who created it won a Nobel Peace Prize for this formulation. So I'm going to tell you, and the company carries $1 million insurance policy to protect any user against anything that should happen to their engine because of Fuel Factor X. So I'm going to tell you, this product is amazing. So I'm going to tell you, this company is amazing. They have an amazing compensation plan. They have everything. In fact, this company's been around for 7 years.
Mr. Panicus,
Sure.
Mr. Panicus,
Yes.
before you leave, the 2 items, I want to ask you a couple of questions.
Uh-huh.
The Fuel Factor X, would you repeat that about the insurance? Because I am a representative, in case most people didn't know it. And I ordered some for my people, and I told them about the insurance, but you repeat that again, please, about the insurance.
Right. The company carries $1 million insurance policy to protect any user against any damage to their engine. So
Th-
I want
Thank
people to
you.
understand.
Thank you very kindly. And before you go to your other introduction, I'll go back to the prepaid travel. On the prepaid travel, I sent all of our hosts of the podcast $100 prepaid credit gift card.
Right. So
Would
Mr.
you tell them how that works and how it is in their computer?
Right. Mr. Bibb sent every host on the show $100 credit that all you have to do is go to your email and it'll say travel savings. And what he did is he sent you $100 savings that you could use uh, and create a free account and go in and you got a savings for any travel that you want to use with our company. So that's what the gift that Mr. Bibb sent that all the hosts on this show today. And
Thank you.
that's the phenomenal thing that our company offers. People are allowed to do that and send that to their friends and family.
Well, thank you, Mr. Bibb.
Yes. Tell them one more time, Mr. Panicus, what to look for in their phone.
Okay,
See, I'm high tech now.
the, the email,
What should they look for, Mr. Panicus?
the email will say travel savings. So look for an email to say travel savings. Click on it and create your free account, and then you and follow the instructions. And that was a gift from Mr. Bibb, $100 travel savings.
Okay.
All right, it's quite well. Now you can tell us about my daily choice, the health and wellness business side of it.
Well, the health and wellness side is very phenomenal. I'll just tell you this: they have a lot of things ranging from the CBD line, which is the number one CBD line in the world today. They also have some things called daily sprays, and I'll just give you this: they have something called the daily sprays, which I've been using. One called Trim 365, one called Core Keto, and one called E-Cell, which is a cellular detox, along with a drink that they have that they nicknamed it Pink Champagne. And I've been using it for about a week and a half, 2 weeks, and I've already lost 10 pounds. And all you do with those daily sprays is spray 8 sprays up underneath your tongue, 1 to 2 times a day, and it just melts off. In fact, the Trim 365, they nicknamed it a liquid lipo. And I'm going to tell you, it is amazing, and everything is natural. So there's no artificial things in this. It's all natural stuff. So I'm going to tell you, everything tastes great. In fact, they have a waterless car wash product. See, that's why they call this the House of Brands, the Amazon of MLM. And you can partake and look at everything, and guess how much it costs? It's free. So if you want information, get with Mr. Bibb. Mr. Bibb is the Cleveland expansion leader. And in fact, we're working with a $60 million African American gentleman, Mr. Robert Louis Dean Jr., who is actually going to be doing a Zoom this coming Saturday that Mr. Bibb will give you the information at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we will be showing everybody what my daily choice is all about. And Mr. Dean is going to be sharing wealth principles on how he made $60 million, how an African American gentleman who is 56 years old made $60 million. He will be sharing those secrets this coming Saturday. So get with Mr. Bibb. He will share those secrets. And if anybody wants a free account and see what my daily choice is all about, get with Mr. Bibb. He will give you his link. In fact, I will tell you this: it is mydailychoice.com/CEBIBBSR. mydailychoice.com/CEBIBBSR. If you want your free account, go in, You can see what it's about, and you will be amazed. And don't be surprised if you click on that button and say, I gotta have some of that stuff. So, Mr. Bibb, I'm gonna hand it back over to you. I'm Jack to the highest of Jackticity, and I'm gonna be coming to Cleveland soon, 3 sizes smaller.
All right. Thank you, Mr. James Panicus. And I'll see you on the late shift Sunday night at 9 o'clock for our special presentation for the special VIPs from 9 to 6.
Oh, we got something
9 to
special for them.
9:30.
We got
Sunday
something special
night,
for
9 to
them. Yes,
9:30.
we do. Yes,
All
we
right.
do.
Thank you very kindly. Okay. Next on our red hot agenda, Miss Candace Jones, they tell me the Bishop Tony Manners on the line. Bishop, are you on the line?
Yes, I am, sir. How are you, King?
I'm just doing great, Bishop. Doing great since we were together at the United Pastors Mission Martin Luther King event on Monday. Tell us what we're going to be doing this coming Friday together.
Yeah, well, thank you so much. It was good seeing you on Monday as we celebrate and honor Dr. Martin Luther King. Well, we're going to be continuing in this mode of celebration, but it's really a mode of action. So we're just not having a party as we think of King, but we are taking action. And on this
Taking action.
Friday at Mount Sinai Baptist Church, 7210 Woodland Avenue, we are launching a group called Faith Community United. It's the expansion of Vessels Vote, something we've been doing for the last 15 years. We're registering people to vote. But with Faith Community United, we're going to be training and empowering congregations to take actions in their community to help bring about a thriving community. So it's going to be a great time, a host of number of speakers. It's going to be a dinner. But the main thing is that people are going to leave there with opportunities to be change agents in their community.
Very good, very good. Now, is there an admission fee?
No, it's free.
Oh my goodness.
It is free. It's not free though. I mean, so it doesn't cost you money, but it costs you commitment, right? And so
That's right.
we want people to come that are interested in gathering this information, going back to their congregation, going back to their community group and saying, hey, we want to be a part of Faith Community United so we can receive the training on community organizing, receive the training on how to be a change agent, to be to receive the skills to be able to do a community assessment. How do we address? So many churches are placed in places full of poverty, crime, and blight, right? And all we do is parachute in and parachute out. We need to take the anointing that flows in that church and to be able to flow throughout. So yes, it won't cost anything to get in, but we do want you to come, and only come if you have a commitment to being a change agent. That's the cost, a commitment.
Okay, hold tight, Bishop. I want some of the co-hosts to ask some questions.
So, Bishop Minor, I do have a question. This is Candace Jones. You mentioned about the event this Friday. Can you repeat again that location of where it's going to be? And if someone wants to attend, do they just come? Do they need to register? Or how does that work?
Yes. So if you are interested in coming, please call 216-883-5036 so we can reserve your spot. It's going to be held at Mount Sinai Baptist Church at 7210 Woodland Avenue. And so this is a one-time public inclusion for them that are part of the People Get Ready podcast. This was an exclusive invite to our partner churches, but we have an exclusive invitation for those that are connected to Charlie Bibb and his team, And so if you call, we do ask you to call 216-883-5036. Give your name and your phone number so we can get back to you. That is this Friday at 6:30 at Mount Sinai Baptist Church.
Okay, let me ask some of my other hosts. Miss Joanne Holly? Miss
Yes,
Joanne
Mr.
Holly,
Bibb. Mr. Bibb.
would you like to ask Bishop Tony Minor any questions about the event Friday?
No, I don't. I listened to what he said, and it sounds great. I grew up in that church, Mount Sinai, the original church. I was a member of that church. So I'm really familiar with the area and what's going on. And I love the way that he speaks and what he tells us, and sounds great to me.
All right.
Yes.
Go right ahead, Bishop.
Yeah, can I add one other thing? You know, on Monday, I talked about, and we're going to talk about it again on Friday,
Very good.
that change in this country came through powerful voices and charismatic leaders like Dr. King, but the fuel of it was everyday people like the ones that are on this broadcast. There are so many people that their names are not in the history books. You don't have movies about them. There aren't books about them. But everyday people stepped up and became change agents, and that's what we want to do. People can receive training through Faith Community United to be not only a change agent, that's a general statement, but really learn the skills of community organizing, learn the skills of democracy building, learn the skills of being a community health worker. We have to step in and be the change that we desires. Charlie Bibb has told us all the time. He said, nobody's coming to rescue us but us. And so we are doing what Charlie Bibb has done over the years. He has passed the baton. I was a young man. He encouraged me through my own personal ups and downs. And that's what we want to do. We want to continue to pass the baton. But not only that, we want to light torches. So please come, bring your torch, get it lit, join the movement, receive the training and the equipment that you need, the equipping that you need to be the change agent in your community. You can be a Sister Candace, who was a city council person, who's still continuing to do great things in her community. We are who we are looking for. Let me say that again. We are who we are looking for.
You couldn't have said it any better. You sure hit it on the head. Miss Sharon Penman. Sharon Penman. While Miss Sharon Penman is getting it together, Miss Tammy Kennedy, you have a few words for the bishop?
Well, I'm excited to hear that this is taking place. I think that is very needed in Cleveland. Community organizing is critical for our neighborhoods to empower our community. So yeah, I think this is a great idea.
All right. And that was Miss Tammy Kennedy, and she'll be there because we all been complaining. Now you're putting it on the table. Let's go to work and be the change we've been waiting for. This is a change you can believe in. That's how Obama came out of nowhere saying the change you can believe in. And I believe we can do it. And I thank the Lord I'm here to see it come around again. Because if nobody's going to change these communities but us, they're going to go right past us. I was looking at TV in Miami, Florida. They got a part of Florida. The highway went right straight to the black communities, shut down all the businesses. So now they started to build them up again. They have to do it. We have to do it. Thank you, Bishop Tony Minor. We won't get an error on this, Miss Candace Jones, because book Bishop to tell us the next step live and on this podcast next week.
That's right. We'll be back, and periodically we'll come back to applaud your work and to just give you updates. We want you to hold us accountable. We've come on your show, talking the talk. We want to, and we're going to come to show you that we're going to walk the walk.
All right. Very good. And Ms. Candace, do you have the bishop's email?
Yes, I do.
All right, because I'm going to send him a $100 prepaid card. I'm going to send him everybody I can find. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Before, while we on business, Miss Joanne Holly? Miss Joanne
Mr.
Holly, are you
Bibb.
in the house?
Yes, sir, I am here.
Do you have anything along the business line for us this week?
Oh, yes, I'm hot and I'm on fire.
All right.
I'm so glad to hear all these opportunities that I've listened to, tonight. I love to see people step out. That's the only way you get ahead. But one of the things, I talk about all the time is building a legacy. Building a legacy is so important because that's how you build and keep families together, neighborhoods together, but you got to work together. You can't talk it, you got to do it. So I've been very, very blessed to get into a group of people that are doing exactly that. They are building their own legacies, and I'm building mine, where I have my relatives, nieces, nephews, anybody, friends, showing them how to build their legacy every day so that they can have the money that they need to fight these battles, because it takes money to fight. Money don't just drop from the sky. You got to work with it. So that's what my goal has been. Mr. Bibb knows that. We've been talking about it for decades. We've been in all types of opportunities over the years. We've learned a lot. But tonight, let me be the first to tell you, I'm looking forward to seeing the same group and more when we have our meeting, because this is where we're heading so that we can be strong enough to make it through all this turmoil. And I have the best program you're going to ever hear about in the world. Thank you, Mr. Charles D. Bibb Sr.
All right, thank you, Miss Joanne Holly. Looking forward to seeing you.
Thank you.
Miss Candace Jones?
Yes, Mr. Bibb, I'd like to share some information and a great opportunity for those that could be interested and it could be beneficial. Ohio Means Jobs, along with Cleveland Cuyahoga County, a proud partner of American Job Center Network, and Euclid Chamber of Commerce, present Euclid Job Fair and Career Training Opportunities. This will take place Friday, January 27th, 2023, 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. The location will be Moore Counseling and Mediation Services Center, which is located at 22639 Euclid Avenue in Euclid, 44117. Just let me give you a list of some of the businesses that will be participating in this event. Amazon, the City of Euclid, Cleveland Clinic, Dave's Supermarket, Dollar Bank, Fifth Third Bank, Guardian Angels Daycare, H.C. Stark, the Help Foundation, Hose Masters, LaParity Daycare Center, Lincoln Electric, ODOT, Step Forward, Vector Technical, and many more businesses are participating in this. Again, it's the Euclid Job Fair and Career Training Opportunities. So if you're interested in changing your career or you want to get a career, this is a great event. Friday, January 27th, 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. at the Moore Counseling and Mediation Center, 22639 Euclid Avenue in Euclid, Ohio.
Thank you. Thank you very kindly. Do you have another announcement?
Yes, I have another announcement. A couple of events coming up at the East Cleveland Public Library. There's an event taking place on Sunday, January 22nd. It's called Good Vibes, a very best in vintage and contemporary jazz. The Greg L. Reese Performing Arts Center. It's free admission, limited seating, doors open at 3 p.m. That's, again, Sunday, January 22nd. It's this coming Sunday at 4 p.m. Doors open at 3 p.m. So come and take an opportunity. The Euclid Public Library is the location, 14101 Euclid Avenue in East Cleveland. For questions, 216-541-4128.
You intend to say East Cleveland Public Library.
Didn't I say that? I'm
You
sorry.
said- yeah, say it again. Euclid.
I'm sorry, Euclid.
It's East Cleveland.
East Cleveland Public Library on Euclid Avenue.
Yeah, that's it.
Another event is the Community Conversation, which is with guest speaker Phil Armstrong. This will take place Saturday, February 11th, 2023, 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. at the East Cleveland Public Library. Again, 14101 Euclid Avenue in East Cleveland.
Okay, very good. Miss Tammy Kennedy?
Yes, sir, Mr. Bibb. Well, as I think we mentioned last week, there's a senior bruncheon. We call it a brunch luncheon that's taking place Saturday, February 18th. And this is a part of a new group that I am partnered with. This is for people 60 and above. So those are little tenders for you, Mr. Bibb.
Yeah,
But
just made it.